Hello, and this is my persuasive speech for my communications class. My persuasive speech topic is more funding for cancer.
If I could get everybody's attention, if you would join me in a moment of silence to honor the 577,000 Americans who died of cancer this year. You know, actually, silence is the last thing that we need. We need to join the American Cancer Society in their most aggressive assault on cancer yet. 2 out of 3 people are surviving cancer. We shouldn't be silent until that's 3 out of 3. Let's make some noise. Come on. Let's finish this fight.
My general purpose is to inform the audience. My specific purpose is to inform my audience and help them understand why we need more funding for cancer research. My central idea: cancer affects millions of families around the world every year. Campaigns such as the Susan G. Komen and the UT Health Science Center Research Center in San Antonio have committed years and billions of dollars to the prevention of the deadly disease. However, we do need more prevention and more funding in order to find a true cure for this monster. In December of 2011, my mom was diagnosed with colon cancer. Thanks to the research done at UT Health Science, she has been able to combat cancer and almost live cancer-free. And many patients that have also received treatment at the Research Institute have also been able to defeat it. But first we need to learn the fundamentals about cancer. Davis 2013 tells us that cancer cells contain pumps and levers and pulleys and other things familiar to physicists and engineers. Thus, cancer cells have pretty much a mind of their own. The cancer begins as a simple cell that then multiplies uncontrollably until eventually it becomes a tumor. Dr. Travis Stockley from the Dr. Oz Show will explain to us now exactly how it is that cancer mutates.
1,500 men, women, and children dying of cancer every single day here in the U.S. The likelihood of it affecting someone you know, it's inevitable. But today, we're making it our mission to help you prevent this deadly disease. And the first step in prevention is understanding what a disease is. A lot of you probably wonder, when we say the word cancer, what does that really mean? Well, I'm going to use this as an illustration because let's start with colon cancer. And the reason for that is whether it starts in your colon, your brain, your kidneys, or your lung, cancer all starts at the cellular level. So let's take a look inside the colon and what happens, for instance, if you start developing colon cancer. Because believe it or not, it starts sometimes with a single cell at the cellular level. And left unabated, what cancer does is it causes cells to grow unopposed. So what you're about to see is one cancer cell growing into many cancer cells. And when that happens, you start to develop growth, which in the case of colon cancer, you will be able to see coming out of the colon wall. Well, is that a problem? Yes and no. If you detect it early enough, in this case with the colonoscopy, you can see right here there's a growth in the colon wall. Well, if you get that colonoscopy, your doctor can cut that out. But if not, what happens? Quite simply, it's called metastasis. That initial cancer that starts in the colon moves to your liver, to other organs. Once it metastasizes, cancer is so very deadly. But you can either stop it in the first place, or with proper prevention and detection, you can prevent it from ever spreading and treat it early where your odds are best.
So who does cancer affect? Cancer has an equal effect around the world, and it does not discriminate against race or who you are in society. It affects poverty, children. We have here Patrick Swayze, who died of pancreatic cancer. Diane Reeves has lung cancer. Celia Cruz died of brain cancer, and even animals. So in general, cancer really doesn't know how to tell who apart. It just attacks in general. There are treatments for cancer. And the video is going to show us
Work by
chemotherapy.
targeting fast-growing and reproducing cells, a characteristic common to cancer cells. The tumor shrinks as the cells stop dividing and die. Most chemotherapy drugs work systemically as they travel throughout your body in your bloodstream. As they circulate, the drugs damage metastatic cancer cells in other organs. Unfortunately, chemotherapy drugs cannot tell the difference between fast-growing normal cells and cancer cells. As a result, these drugs also damage or irritate some of your fast-growing normal cells, such as those in your bone marrow, digestive system, and hair follicles. Death, irritation, or damage to these normal cells produces side effects such as a weakened immune system, nausea, and hair loss. The goal of chemotherapy is to reduce or eliminate cancer cells in the original tumor and any sites of metastasis. In addition to being a primary cancer treatment, doctors often use chemotherapy as a secondary treatment before, during, or after other primary cancer treatments, such as radiation therapy or surgical excision of a tumor. Depending on the location and type of cancer, you may receive chemotherapy drugs intended to circulate throughout your body, including pills, capsules, or liquids taken orally, and intravenous or intramuscular injections. Alternatively, you may receive drugs delivered only to the area of the tumor. One local method delivers drugs to your bladder or chest through narrow tubes called catheters. Another local method injects drugs into the cerebrospinal fluid surrounding your brain and spinal cord. A third local method places slowly dissolving wafers into an area where a tumor was removed. In most cases, you will receive a number of different chemotherapy drugs to increase their effectiveness. You may receive many chemotherapy treatments spread out over a period of weeks or months. This allows your body to recover between treatments and to kill as many cancer cells as possible.
This is another common form of treatment for cancer, radiation. However, thanks to funding for cancer research and to find a cure, there have been other forms of therapy that have been found. Of course, radiation, more direct radiation. We have therapeutic cancer vaccines, as well as immunotherapy treatments, which work kind of like the vaccines. It's injected directly into your immune system. And of course, clinical medication that's still under investigation. So the funding. During President Nixon's presidency, he sanctioned billions of dollars for the research of cancer. Cancer research swallows billions of dollars a year, but the life expectancy of someone diagnosed with cancer has been prolonged, and more people are surviving cancer. But two issues have to be addressed. One, the choice has to be made appropriate, and the optimization of research spending in respects to those who burden the metrics. Cancer affects everyone and does not have a set population. It is an equal killer, and it does not discriminate against rank or race. It is important to raise awareness and prevention of cancer. In the audience and at home, chances are that you know someone that has cancer or a family affected by it. We need to stand together and unite for a fight against cancer.